All right, boys, we're doing cardio and abs today, but never mind all of that. Let's talk about dating. Dating. I found myself single, and when I found myself single, I did not know how to be single. I hadn't dated ever. I had been with somebody since I was like 20 years old. And now I found myself in my late 30s. I'm 44 now, and I found myself having to date, and it scared the hell out of me. And that fear kept me with a toxic woman I should not have been with. But I didn't know how to date. I didn't want to sleep around. I didn't want to do all the dating stuff. By the way, it's cardio day. We're doing treadmill and abs. 27 minutes of cardio, and then we're going to do some abs. Science says it helps you get your abs in shape. Anyways, and speaking of getting in shape, how are you going to date? How are you going to have the guts to find the right woman if you're a mess, if you're a big old flabby, boobied, big old gutted mess who does not respect himself? How are you going to expect another woman to respect you? So all the more reason to glow up after the blow up. So we'll get down to that. So here I am, late 30s, almost 40, single dad, in the middle of separation, and I find myself single for pretty much the first time in my life. I didn't know anything about dating. I didn't know anything about women. I knew nothing. You know, being with a woman after 20 years, you think you'd learn something about women? No. So you know what you do, boys? You picture Christopher Columbus arriving to the New World. And you have all these opportunities. You don't speak the language. You don't know the culture of the natives. You don't know anything about it. So what do? You burn the boats, boys. You burn the boats. Because there's no going back. So you burn those damn boats and you jump into dating and you'll figure it out. 5 years of figuring it out. So I thought we'd talk about it, talk about how I changed my attitude towards women, and really the secret, because yeah, we all know it's easy to find someone you thought you trusted. You thought you had someone you could trust. You thought you had someone who loved you, who'd have your back. You made vows before God and all of your family, and it probably didn't mean anything. And I'm not going to ascribe blame, but I have a feeling if you're here on my channel, it's because you got burned by a woman. And maybe you weren't the man you needed to be yet, and that's okay. You shouldn't have gotten burned. I did. I got burned. And that's okay. You can put the flames out. So here I am now pushing 40, 44 now, but at the time I found myself dating. I was heartbroken. I had had a marriage end, and I made the mistake of jumping right into a toxic relationship with a woman who I thought would take care of me and be good to me because she was my best friend. Well, 2.5 years later, I had begged her for the life of my child, and I realized that I was just being used. She was sleeping around, and I was just there because I made her feel good. I rubbed her back at night. I did things for her. I told her I loved her. I told her she was beautiful. I made love to her. I was her partner, but she had other things in mind. And this is the nature of the bad woman, we'll call it for the sake of YouTube. This is their nature. Hypergamy, look it up. Always looking for something else. So we're going to talk about red flags today. Words over actions. This was a crucial part of my journey in finding the right woman. They're all going to tell you the nice things. They're all going to tell you how great you are. They're all going to tell you how great they are. But until you learn to open your eyes and see what's going on, you're going to have a hard time with it. So that's one of the first things we want to pay attention to. Words over actions. Are their words matching their actions? Did you know that when people's words don't match their actions, it's abuse? I didn't know any of this. The gaslighting. You ever go to a woman and tell her, hey babe, this is bothering me, this is going on, I don't like it, this ain't making me feel good. And then they tell you like, no, here's what else is going on. And you go, okay, maybe the first time you buy it. The second time, gentlemen, you gotta just knock that crap off. You have to be able to respect yourself and have boundaries. We're not gonna get anywhere in the dating world until you respect yourself enough to have boundaries. You also have to know what you want. Are you dating with intention? I think if you're on my channel, you're dating with the intention of finding a good partner. You know, I think this channel is really going to attract men who want to do the right thing, be the right man, do the right thing. If you're just trying to go out and rack up your body count, this is not the channel for you. You could have done that. I could have done that. You know, I got a few bodies under my belt. That's kind of the nature of dating, especially if you're taking care of yourself, guys. If you're fit, if you're confident, you're gonna have a much easier time picking up women if that's what you want to do. But you know, part of dating is intimacy, you know. Lord knows it was for me. In fact, it might be the only fun part about being single. But for me, you wanted to put a boundary on it. I wanted to put a boundary on it. I don't want to be out there bagging chicks. That ain't what this is about. I got kids, I got a daughter. You know, if that's what you need for your life, more power to you. But to me, that's not the path we want to be walking. We want to be dating with intention. So that's another thing. How do you know what women to avoid? You're going to see a lot of cute women, a lot of pretty women, a lot of attractive women you're going to want to reach out to, you're going to want to go out with. We got dating apps now, we got all this stuff. Well, how are you going to know which ones are worth your time and effort and which ones you need to just be like, okay, never mind. There's all kinds of different single women out there. There's the ones who don't know what they're doing, and you're going to need to figure that out real soon, and you probably will. There's the ones that are just fresh out of a relationship, probably aren't even divorced yet, still just separated. You're going to want to avoid those ones too. Guys, you're going to need to learn to put boundaries on yourself and on your life. You're going to need to learn to respect yourself enough to know what those boundaries are. And if you haven't taken the time to articulate what those boundaries are, go ahead and do that now. I'll wait and sip my Monster. Okay, did you do it? You know what your boundaries are? Well, if you don't, you can think about it on your drive to work today or when you're walking the dog or whatever, but you need to know what those boundaries are. I had to figure them out over time. Those boundaries are going to be, are they still married? Do they know what they want? Are they dating multiple men? Feel free to ask them, and then feel free to respect yourself enough. If they tell you, well, yeah, I'm seeing you and I'm seeing another guy, I really like him, have the self-respect and the boundaries to be like, adios, muchacha, I'm not interested. If you want to be a simp, that's fine. This ain't the channel for you if you want to be a simp. There's lots of simp channels, you know. Go to Twitch. Find yourself a nice e-girl. Simp hard, you know, but respect yourself enough to where if a woman tells you, no, I'm seeing this guy and another guy, you just tell her no. You don't tell her, well, I would really like to be the one you see and only me. No. She'll never respect you. She'll use you. She'll let you buy her dinner. Women love free dinners, by the way. I mean, they'll do anything for free food. It's crazy. But respect yourself enough, gentlemen, that when she says, I'm seeing other guys, you say, not going to work for me. And yes, I met a girl like this, a wonderful, sexy woman. We had a wonderful couple of dates, FaceTimes, real flirty, giant boobs. She had good money, her own job, freshly divorced and vulnerable. And, oh yeah, I'm seeing this guy, I'm seeing that guy. Just have the self-respect to shine them on, okay? It might take you years and years and years to meet the right gal, but you're better off being alone than with one of these gals, okay? So learn how to put boundaries on yourself. What other type of women do you want to avoid? This isn't a hard and fast rule, but you kind of want to know what their family situation is like. If they got issues with their mom or their dad, it's a pretty decent idea, pretty good idea to stay away. Okay, again, not hard and fast, but it's a good rule of thumb. She don't like her dad, the dad ain't in the picture, her and mom got issues. I don't know what it is, but you're going to find that a lot of people who have less than desirable character traits that you want in a partner are going to have relationships with their moms and dad that are damaged, that are twisted, maybe non-existent. Is there abandonment? Good. Go ahead and abandon them if they have abandonment issues. Feel free to abandon them post-haste. That's going to be a big one also. So these are some red flags we're looking for to reframe the game. Are you there to save them? Hell no, I'm not here to save you. I'm here to save me. None of these gals do you need to save, gentlemen. It's not your job. Let some other poor idiot waste his time, money, years, effort, and energy into it, okay? They might be wonderful gals. You might really love them. They might tug on your heartstrings. You might be an empathic guy who feels like, oh God, I know what she feels and I can help her, I can fix her, I can save her. Guys, just don't. Haven't you been hurt enough? Haven't you been through enough? It's time for you, gentlemen, to do you, gentlemen. And that doesn't mean it's selfish. That doesn't mean you're cruel or cold or calculating. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It's just having the respect for yourself enough to show up for yourself before you show up for another woman. It took me 5 years of dating apps, single life, hooking up, time wasted to find the person who was going to be worth it. And that meant I knocked 100 gals right out of the park. Woo, adios. And I had the self-respect to know that the right one's coming. The right one's coming. If you just need a warm place to put your thing, this ain't the channel for you, okay, guys? This is a channel for guys who actually want to do better, get better, be the right man for their family, for their partner, but find that partner. And you know what I'm doing right now? This part where you keep your body in check and you keep your body strong and you keep your mind and your heart and your soul healthy, that's going to help you attract the right woman. That means I'm going to respect enough. A woman looks at you and sees you're a mess. She's going to be like, I don't respect this guy. He don't respect himself. Is this any of this hitting home for you guys? Because it's true. Respect yourself. Get in shape. You're going to be more inclined to accept any big, fat, dog-faced, old, selfish, no-lipped loser gal who's going to just suck you dry because you're just so desperate. Because you look in the mirror and you see this ugly, big, fat mess, so you're going to accept any gal who gives you any attention. And she'll give you attention and she'll make you feel good for 3 months, 3 to 6 months. If you're lucky, if she's really desperate, if she has nowhere to live, she'll milk it for a year. And then guess what? After that time's up, you're going to be chasing that good vibe she gave you for the rest of your relationship until you're paying her bills, you're sending her to her families and paying for all the plane tickets, and you're paying her car, and you're paying her rent, and meanwhile, she treats you like crap. Well, guess what? You deserved it and you asked for it. So have the self-respect required to get a gal. So what are some other things we're looking for? If they need too much attention, really if they need any attention, if they need any male attention, that's a good idea to lock them into the old catapult and shoot them over the fence, okay? The gal I'm with now, and I don't tell women anything, okay? You're not their dad, I'm not their boss. It's not my job to be like, hey, you need to do this and you need to do that. No, you tell them what you expect, you tell them your boundaries, you tell them what you think is healthy and good for you in your relationship, and see if they follow suit. The woman I'm with now, who I love, who was worth the 5 years in the dating wilderness. She was worth burning the boats for and jumping into the savagery of dating. It took me 5 years to meet her. 5 years of figuring out how to respect myself. 5 years of boundaries. 5 years of sending gals over the fence. Woo! And it will get better, boys, but it might take 5 years. You know, you saw Lord of the Rings. What did Sam tell Frodo at the end of Two Towers? You know, things get so bad you can't even believe it could ever go back to normal. But they can, and they do. But you got to keep fighting the good fight. And why do we fight? Because it's worth it. And then you can tell the story one day. And the bigger the dragon, the better the story. So we'll get back to, let's get back on track, you know. Let's get back on track. You need to be able to tell a gal, hey, why do you need so much attention on Facebook or Instagram? And if she doesn't have a good answer, you gotta boot her. The gal I'm with now, I told her, I don't think we should have Instagram. I don't think we should have Facebook. I don't think we should have any of this junk. It's just a portal into your life that other men can jump into. Other women for that matter too, you know. There was a woman I shouldn't have been with right after my marriage who only had a foothold in my life because of social media. And I was young and stupid and thought she was cute, and I was not the man I am now. Still very much a young, naive guy. And you know, it's okay to be naive, boys, but it's not okay to stay naive. So let's learn so we can move forward. So if you don't tell her, hey, here's how I do it. Do you want me talking to other women or ex-girlfriends or hookups or cute gals on Instagram, and if she says no, then say, okay, well, I don't want you doing it either. The standard has to be the same for everyone. This alpha stuff isn't I'm the man and you're the little woman. And it doesn't necessarily mean we're equal, too. We're equal in value, we're equal in worth, but we certainly have different strengths and abilities and weaknesses, too. So if she's not willing to do what you're willing to do, which is drop the Instagram, drop any outside source of female attention, get rid of her. If she needs the attention that much. If she's posting pictures all the time, sexy pictures, she shouldn't even be in your life, gentlemen. I'm sorry. Sorry, ladies, I love you, but guys, avoid that gal. Avoid the gal who's posting pictures on Instagram all the time, sexy or not. If she needs that much outside validation, she's not the one for you. Have the self-respect to say, not the one for me. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just have the self-respect to do it. So these are some lessons that I've learned. I'm going through the Rolodex in my head of not just all the gals I dated, because I dated quite a few, but the ones who I had like an extended relationship with, maybe a few months, maybe we were seeing each other for an extended amount of time, and I thought there was potential. So now we're gonna get onto the single moms. I love them, God bless them. I seriously dated one single mom. Longer than I should have. There's nothing wrong with her. I adore her. I still to this day adore her. I think very highly of her. She was a great sense of peace and strength and comfort in my life in a hard time. And even after, she was joyful, she was humorous. She had a good attitude, a little immature, and at the end of the day, boys, you get to be in your 40s. I'm not putting up with anything, okay? That's just me. You can if you want to. But she was a single mom, and I give her a lot of credit for that. She had a little boy. The dad was not in the picture at all. And in a day and an age when so many women abort their babies, end their babies' lives, this beautiful young woman had the character to raise this child, keep this child. And this is a liberal woman, but she had the character and the resolve to say, I'm keeping my baby. And I gave her so much credit for that. And if you're watching this, kudos to you, honey, because I will always respect you for that. Bravo, sweetie. So I really admired that about her. She made it work. And it's like the hardest thing in the world. And all you hear is women saying, oh, no, I can't do it. I gotta ixnay the AB bay. But she didn't do it, so God bless her. And at the end of the day, there was a maturity issue. I went to get a tattoo one day, this one right there. This is from my dearly departed grandmother. And I was going to Venice Beach with my cousin. We were both getting tattoos. And she was so emotional. Well, I want to go with you. How come I can't go with you? And I'm FaceTiming her, and I love her. And guys, greatest boobs you ever seen in your life on this woman. It's amazing what an incredible set of breasts will do for a gal, right? Like, I kept her around way longer than I should have. Again, nothing wrong with her, but boy, they're like a superpower. So I gave her so many chances because greatest boobs you've ever seen in your life. So ladies, you want to keep a guy around, have amazing boobs. Anyways, but she was a great gal on top of it. Great gal on top of it. But when I'm at the point that we're FaceTiming and I'm clear into my 40s and I've been through toxic relationships, I've been through divorce, I'm a dad, I'm a business owner, I've been through so much. Guess how much time and patience I have for your immature emotions? 0. So by the time we're on FaceTime, and she's pouting, and I'm supposed to, oh, babe, I don't know what the, oh, poor baby, how can I make it better, babe? And we're on FaceTime, and she's giving me that, and I'm supposed to go into simp mode. I just go like this. Guys, you got to shut them down. Have the respect to know what you're going to stand for, what you're going to tolerate, and what you're not going to tolerate, no matter how great their boobs are or how wonderful they are. She was a single mom, and you know what? That little boy of hers was an absolute terror. Absolute terror. We'd go out with my daughter for a beautiful day. I'm spending most of my time fathering this little boy, and God bless him, he needed it. And yes, there's an empathic part of my nature that said, I want to be there for him. I want to be what that little boy needs. But that was not wise. I have my daughter 4 days a week, and she's the love of my life. I was put here to be her dad and to guide her and hold her. I cannot waste time on someone else's child. I'm sorry. I know it sounds great and it sounds like a nice thing to do, and I'm sure it would be, but my child and my little girl is the priority. And my funds and my energies can't be going to somebody else's child, you know? This is just the reality of things. If you want to do that, guys, that's on you. But if you're on this channel, you're here to learn how I did it, what I've learned that was good for me. And that was good for me. I want a woman who's going to give me my own baby. If I'm putting all this time and energy and effort into a child and into a woman, it has to be mine. It does. And that little boy, God bless him, I hope he finds the stepfather he needs to help guide him in this world. But gentlemen, your legacy has to go to your babies. Real talk, guys. Real talk. It was not easy taming the wilderness. It was not easy burning the boats, but you got to do what's right for you. Now, 5 years later, single and dating, going through the wilderness, and now I have a wonderful woman. She's not a single mom. She's younger than me. She's skinny. She's pretty. She's so good. She's so lovely. She's so decent. Her attitude is so pure. She was a nanny for 7 years. She's so infinitely good to my daughter. And now she's going to give me my own baby. Praise God. By the grace of God, and I'm truly grateful. God can restore you 7 times over like he says he can. And he says he will. You seek it. Every day you seek it, and have the nerve and the compassion and the empathy for yourself. Save the compassion and the empathy for yourself right now, guys. That's the chapter you're in. And if you decide to give that compassion and that empathy to another woman, make sure it's the right woman and make sure it's for the right reasons. Not because you're lonely, not because you're sad, not because you feel some sense of shame because you don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I'm going to include both sides of the coin on this because I realize not everybody's like us. But you don't have someone in your life, that doesn't mean you just settle and you bend over backwards. I got a buddy who felt so much shame after his divorce, felt such a lack of respect for himself. And this is a good man, decent job, a good heart, a generous spirit, a kind man, a funny man. But if anything, too kind and too generous. If a woman thinks she can walk all over you, guess what she's going to do? She's going to walk all over you. Not all of them. But if you're on this channel, listening to me right now, that's the kind of woman you've experienced and who you want to avoid again. You need a woman who's going to let you lead. A woman who you go, we're praying right now. And she says, okay. And until you find her, boys, be alone. Be alone. Okay, 27 minutes of cardio is up. Let's keep talking. So, science says 27 minutes of cardio on an empty stomach before workout is the best way to do an ab workout. So now we're going to do an ab workout and we're going to keep talking about dating. But today is cardio and abs. 27 minutes of cardio, done. Now come with me to Ab Town. We're going to do some really cool ab stuff today. We're going to do some really cool ab stuff today. Some of my favorite ab stuff today. These ones are fun. They're a little advanced. But that's what makes them fun and interesting. Oh man, so let's get this set up here. Bear with me. Okay, so let's get this set up for abs and cardio. Cardio done. I don't even know what they call these, but these are some of my favorite ab workouts. So we're gonna knock these out for you, boys. Thank you for working out with me, and we're gonna keep talking about dating. And now we're gonna start telling some of the funny stories. Guys, one of the best things about being single is you don't have to suffer for any of these gals. You don't have to suffer 1 minute when you're single. You owe them nothing. You took no vows. You can move right on with your life whenever you want to. You don't have to do anything but respect yourself. You know all those times you bit your lip and you were quiet around your wife, around some gal, because you were afraid to make her mad. You was afraid you were going to make her mad at you and then she wouldn't be nice to you. You don't have to be that guy anymore when you're single. You get to be you, 100%, 1,000%. So let's tell some funny stories, funny dating stories. So I take this gal out, nice dinner in Irvine. We're having drinks. This gal had so many issues, abandonment issues, daddy issues. She was real hot, by the way. Daddy issues, boyfriend issues, girlfriend issues. She'd been it all. She'd been it all. She'd been a lesbian. She'd been a drug addict. Her mom was a crazy alcoholic. Her dad wasn't even in the picture, and I knew better than to even be with this gal. But, you know, part of me, I was still kind of stupid. I was still very early on in my journey, very early on in the new world. And I was so stupid that I was like, oh, I'm going to believe her. She's going to be good. So we're out for drinks. Happy hour in Orange County. No, we weren't in Irvine, we were in Costa Mesa. And boy, she's drunk and she's on a good one because she had gotten into a fight with her ex-husband, and so she was on a good one. So we're a few mojitos deep. And this gal tells me, you know, that she's a woman and she don't need no man. She can take care of herself, and she don't need me. And this was height of the girl boss era a few years ago, and she was girl bossing it and blah, 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 blah. So I said, cool, then you can handle the check. And I jumped over the wall of the patio and got the hell out of there. Don't let no gal give you none of this. All right, boys. If you're already fat, you probably don't need to be doing a lot of ab work. But if you're there and you want to learn what to do, this is what you do. You do 27 minutes of cardio you just saw, and you want an empty tummy when you're doing this. So watch, these are some of my favorites. Love this shit. Okay. Boom. Hold that tension. Hold that tension on the abs. Woo. Keep that tension on that tummy, boys. Ooh. You want to look good with that shirt off. Whew. This is going to give you the confidence to feel way better when you're dealing with the ladies than you do now. You're going to accept any old gal who comes along if you're not in shape and confident, because you're going to be so desperate, and that's all there is to it. And women smell desperation, and men do too. You got to do a lot of work too. It's not just enough to avoid the certain women. When the right woman comes along, you got to be the man who can step up to the plate for her, lead that family, balance the way you were supposed to balance relationships out. And if you have a woman who's arguing with you all the time, my ex-wife had that real masculine energy, real masculine kind of energy, always challenging. You got a woman who's always challenging you? Get out as fast as you can. Boys, don't be afraid of divorce. I was. Oh no, I don't want this marriage to ever end, because I was a product of divorce and I didn't want it for my kid, and of course not. But as soon as you realize they're not interested, as soon as you realize they're not going to be there with you, they're not going to give you the life you want, don't be afraid to end it. I did not have the balls to take my own advice, but I didn't know then what I know now. Let's do more of these. Grab the end of this thing, tuck those knees up towards your chest, and extend up. Keep that tension on the tummy and extend up. Come on now. Come on now. Crank it out. Come on now. Crank it out. Pump it out. Yeah. All right, so we're going to tell more stories. We're going to tell more dating stories. Okay, so then that was the gal I jumped over the wall and told her, okay, well then you got this. She was beautiful, gorgeous. Still think about her. But I was not afraid to respect myself enough. So when she's yapping about what a girl boss she is, to tell her, cool, then you got the bill. Hop on over that wall and bone out. Because guys, guess what? You can do whatever you want to do. Free will and stuff and junk. It's pretty cool. All right, so then I leave her. At some point we break up. And I'm now well into my 40s at this point. At the point of the story. 44 now, but at this point I was like 40, 41. And by the grace of God, I found myself dating a 28-year-old woman. She was conservative like me, funny. She was a performer, real cute, real petite, beautiful little body and beautiful little booty. And we were dating for months. And I really liked this gal. I could have married this gal. Okay, in retrospect, no, but at the time. And we're dating for 3 months, and she's great, she's great, she's great. And one day she says, I need you to drive me to LAX. Guys, I ain't driving to LAX. I work in construction, I'm driving all the time. I'm a dad. Don't ask me to drive you to LAX. I don't even live anywhere near LAX anymore. Don't ask me to drive you to LAX. It's an airport for you who don't live in Los Angeles or Southern California. And it will suck your entire day away, especially when you don't live over there. And she hits me with, hey, I'm going home to Miami to visit my family. And she'd had this plan since before we met. Will you drive me to LAX? And I was just like, no, but I'll take you to another airport, but not that one. Don't even ask me. Respect my time enough. And then it turns into, and this is where her immaturity came into play, then it turned into, well, if you love me, you'll take me. If you love me, you'll take me. And her mom is reinforcing that. Turned into that, which turned into mixed signals, which turned into, hey, babe, do you want to go to Disneyland next week? Well, I'll let you know. We'll talk about it. So now we had gone from everything great to now mixed signals to now if you loved me, you'd take me to LAX. And guess what that turned into just like that? Come and get your stuff. You got to be willing to even let the gorgeous, cute, petite, sexual little 28-year-old babe, MAGA babe, you got to let her go, guys. You got to let her go. All right, last set, we're moving on. Again, these are advanced. If you're just getting started on this fitness journey, I don't expect you to do these, but I'm showing you where you can get to, the cool stuff you can do. This stuff's really fun. I like these. These are super fun for me to do. You got to be able to shine that gal on, boys. Okay, now, there was another gal, and I'm pretty sure I had met her on a dating app. She was also much younger than me, 29. Real pretty blonde, real curvy, giant bazunjas, the booty, everything. Skinny, creamy. She was fun. We were texting for a while. I think I had been seeing some other people at the time, so I wasn't really like hitting her up too crazy, but I was big on the dating apps. I had a lot of success on these dating apps. They were great. Anyways, she posted some Halloween pictures in a French maid outfit, and marron, she looked amazing. So I'm like, oh, it's time to hit her up again. So I hit her up again, and then I'm taking her out, and we're having a nice time. And she was pretty fun, and I liked her. Her hair's looking crazy. Again, 29 years old, I'm in my 40s, and I have this blonde, beautiful girlfriend who likes me, and we're making out on the beach in Laguna. And we get to be intimate on like our second date, and that was awesome. And on our third date, I'm hanging out with her at her house, and she's on her period. Oh, me on my period. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And her mood is crap. And I take her to eat, and we go to lunch. We have a nice lunch, but the whole time, oh my God, okay, well then don't call me over. Don't call me over if that's where we're at. I don't want it. So then we go back to her house and we're hanging out with her sister. And she's in such a mood, I might as well not even be there. And I'm rubbing her legs. And she just keeps telling me how she's on her period and sorry she's in a bad mood and giving me a mood. Guys, I got up and I just walked out. I didn't even explain anything. I just walked out the door. That's right, I just got up, walked out of her house, got in my truck and left. And then she texts me, "Oh, what'd you leave for? I wanted to snuggle and cuddle and spend the night with you." To which my response was, "Well, you had a funny way of showing it," and I never talked to her again. Now, these aren't brags, fellas. It's not about how big of a a-hole can you be to these gals. It's about boundaries. And guess what? Boundaries are very important. You gotta have them. You gotta have yours. And you gotta be willing to enforce them. Because you're never gonna meet the right one until you know what those boundaries are. You know how to enforce them. You know the red flags to look for. So that when the right one comes along, you can hold her accountable to all those things. And when the right one comes along, she will say, "Absolutely, I agree. I agree." All right, guys. Show up before you blow up. Oh, by the way, my ex-wife, she's a big fat lesbian now. All right, we'll see you on the next video. God bless. Mwah.